Hello and welcome to Season 2, Episode 4 of Box. I'm your host Adam Lyon, joined today by Craig McLean
Hello.
and Craig Edwards as usual. So we're going to review the Australian Grand Prix opener of the season. Sebastian Vettel with the win there. We'll start off with qualifying. Main points to note from that. Contrasting situations from the two Mercedes drivers. Hamilton very much on the pace, Bottas very much in the wall. Craig?
It was a careless error to make. You could see that obviously Toto Wolff wasn't thrilled that it happened, but it's not the best way to start the season for Bottas. Obviously coming off the end of last season where he did drop off the pace with his teammate, did kind of drop away from the championship battle. He wanted to get off the mark on a kind of strong foot, and that really didn't help him. That pushed him down the grid, and with the gearbox change as well, he was quite far back, so not ideal.
Yeah, Craig, even though Hamilton did put in a pretty good lap, the top six still, a lot closer than we maybe thought, and maybe this is exactly what we were hoping for this season.
Yeah, I think throughout the field you've got close battle. You've got the top six. Arguably Hamilton was a good 7/10 clear, but apart from that, but then you've got the midfield of Haas. They were strong, and they're all close up with them, McLaren, Renault. So it's looking actually decent this season. That they're all going to be very close.
Yeah. Last episode we were sort of ridiculing Hamilton and Toto Wolff for saying that Haas were going to be the surprise package this year, but qualifying, we were kind of proved wrong.
Well, no, I think I agreed that the data had kind of proved that they were looking quick, so they obviously knew what they were looking at, and it's proved right.
Yeah. Poor performances, you'd probably say, from Force India and Williams. Kind of expected them to be towards the back, but maybe not quite as slow and off the pace as they were.
I think it was coming for years. For someone like Force India especially, the budget they've got is not as high as the likes of McLaren and Renault, so they were going to eventually develop past them. Of course, it's still early days in the season, depending on what tracks we're at later on. Force India and Williams could certainly pick up points. They've still got Mercedes engines, so on high power circuits they will definitely perform better. Obviously later in the season you've got the likes of Monza and Spa and that, but Australia's maybe not the best track for them, so there might be a bit more in the race at Bahrain.
Yeah, so Craig, as to the actual race itself, the opening few laps not that eventful, nothing going into the first corner. Hamilton just sort of led on the way, started developing a bit of a lead. Did you fear at that point that you're just going to keep building his lead and just win by a decent margin?
Australia is always the same. It's all about track position, and you could even say he didn't really build that big a lead, but he always had it under control. As soon as Raikkonen put in a lap, he just put in a lap the next lap. So it was always just a cat and mouse kind of thing. You never really thought anything was going to happen until the Haas incident.
Yeah, Craig, midway through the race, or lap 22, 23, Haas with a double pit stop failure, you can only say. Not attaching the wheels properly meant that Grosjean and Magnussen both had to retire, which was a real shame for Haas because they were running very well at that point.
Yeah, obviously all the retirements in the race were a bit calamitous. Sirotkin retiring from his first Grand Prix because a plastic bag got stuck in the input.
That's slightly even worse than the Ferrari one from last year with the £7 part of their car.
Yeah.
But
not ideal for Haas though. Poor from the team, and it's good to see Grosjean actually after the race, saying to the engineer, it happens. We all make mistakes.
Win
We'll
is a
get
team,
them
lose
next
is
time.
a team.
It's very costly for them, and that probably would be the highest points haul in their history.
Yeah.
They were looking on course for 12, 14 points anyway. That you'd think they probably would have dropped back a little bit from the Ferraris and the Red Bulls and that, so it will hurt. Magnussen got a good start as well, of course, going up to fourth. So we just need to go back at it at Bahrain and see if they're on the pace.
So because those two, virtual safety car comes out. Craig, do you want to try and talk us through this? How Vettel managed to get ahead of Hamilton?
So the virtual safety car is supposed to neutralise the race. Is that all what we agree?
Yeah.
But the rules don't apply as soon as you enter the pit lane, so you can go quicker in the lead up to the pit lane limiter and on the pit exit. So that means Vettel is then going quicker than Hamilton on entry to the pits.
Yeah.
It also means the gap is bigger because Hamilton can't go as fast. Thus, pit stop time is technically shorter, and that's how. Is that how?
Of course, you're always gaining time from pit stop under the virtual safety car because the cars in the track are going slower, so you're not losing as much time. Obviously, that's why places like Monza, you lose so much time in the pit lane because the cars are going past 200 miles an hour on the straight, while you're going at 40, 50 in the pit lane. So with cars going much slower in the circuit, you're not losing that much time in the pits, and that's why often you see people pit under the virtual safety car.
Look at Barcelona last year.
Things like that happen throughout the field. So.
Jink, because this was such a high profile one, Jink they might change it, or Jink will just
but you got to remember Barcelona last year. Hamilton almost did the same thing, just behind, but then obviously had the tyres to then get straight in front.
So is it as big a deal as people are making out?
It's good tactical move from Ferrari. That's all it is.
They weren't going to win the race, so they might as well stay. That's what they stayed out for, in the hope.
Obviously, Mercedes couldn't have predicted a virtual safety car. It's kind of bad luck. But it's just a good tactical move from Ferrari.
Yeah,
you're going to do your pit then if you can.
Yeah, so Vettel jumps Hamilton in the pits. Then the full safety car came out, and then after that, it was interesting that Hamilton couldn't get past Vettel after that, which just highlights how much time you lose in the dirty air of other cars.
Yeah, that could be an issue we see all season. Hopefully not, but obviously introduced another DRS zone trying to get us around it, but there was only a few overtakes we saw there. So now we've got Hamilton's pushed, of course, and run wide at one point. So.
I do remember Australia's never really ever been a.
I think back to last year there was.
Yeah, and then Bahrain there was a lot more, China there was a lot more. So judge it then.
So the last main thing to note from the race, McLaren didn't quite expect them to be quite as far up as they did, or as good as they did. But Alonso really, pulled out the bag, got a bit of luck with the safety car. But
I was expecting it would be that high up. I knew that they would be the next best team after the Ferrari, the Mercedes, and the Red Bull. Haas were slightly quicker than them, but obviously came to their own downfall. The only thing people were kind of concerned about with McLaren, which hounded them in pre-season, was reliability, and they did have issues with that. So, that's why they do pre-season to find out what these issues are, and it's worked. So they look quick in pre-season, and they've got a very consistent driver in Alonso. I think a talented driver in Van Dorn as well, and Van Dorn of course picked up a 9th place as well on a couple of points. So I think they can do fine this season. It's good to see them 4th in the standings. I think they've already picked up as many points this season, just about as they did last season. So good start.
Anything else you want to note from the race? Anything that caught your eye?
Well, it's fine.
Feels fine again.
So just going to best and worst driver and team.
I would give best driver to probably Fernando Alonso. He kept his cool, and got a good result after a few hard years. Best team, Renault, they were quite consistent, I thought. Hulkenberg did well as well. Sainz was very ill all weekend, still finishing the points.
Yeah.
So best team, Renault, I think they did well.
Craig, for you?
Go with probably McLaren as well. They did the job. And then Alonso. I think you'd think Verstappen should have been able to get past them, so held them off for top 5.
I'll go for best driver. Probably Fernando Alonso as well. Best team, Ferrari. I think everyone
Ferrari
expected.
got a good result.
Expected Mercedes maybe to do well this weekend. But
a double podium was
good result for them. Worst driver and team.
Haas.
I suppose for the team's performance, you would probably give it to Haas because two very, very costly errors. Worst driver,
Verstappen.
Yeah, he was quite clumsy throughout the race. Verstappen, I thought.
Thank you very much for watching, and follow